These 5 stories might be the best ones that show how weak and strong the human mind really is. 5 times when thought turns into chemistry, belief turns into biology, and perception changes the world we think we see. This isn't a story. These are actual experiments, actual data, and actual outcomes. The mind doesn't just make sense of reality, it also makes it. 1. The nocebo effect. When fear kills. It begins with a question that seems impossible. Can just words make you sick, or even kill you? Researchers have seen it happen over and over again in hospitals. A person takes a harmless sugar pill thinking it's a dangerous drug and still feels sick, in pain, dizzy, or worse. Some fall apart. Some people even die. This isn't magic. The nocebo effect is the bad twin of the placebo. The placebo works by giving you hope, while the nocebo works by making you afraid. A 2025 study in eLife found that nocebo reactions last longer and hit harder than placebos because our brains are wired to expect danger more than safety. It's a survival instinct that has been passed down through generations. Our bodies get ready for pain when we expect it. Hormones that cause stress rise, blood pressure goes up. The immune system doesn't work as well. What you expect becomes what you experience. MRI scans show that the brain's pain centers light up even before the painful thing happens when patients think it will hurt. Fear, in a very real way, makes pain. And that's the truth behind the myth of the prisoner who bled to death from a fake cut. It's a story that never happened, but it feels real because our minds know it could happen. Fear can hurt your body over time, but belief won't kill you right away. One researcher said, "We suffer most from the dangers our mind makes up." 2. The illusion of sight. How your brain tricks you. Your eyes don't show you what's real. They show you what your brain wants to see. Neuroscientists at MIT's McGovern Institute showed that what we call seeing is mostly just guessing. Your eyes only confirm or change the guesses that your brain makes about what's out there. Vision isn't recording. It's making sense of what you see. This is beautifully shown by optical illusions. Your brain makes movement, depth, and even color that aren't there with just a few lines and shadows. The picture stays the same. You do. But this trick is more than just a simple trick. Feelings can also change how you see things. When you're scared, your brain makes your field of vision wider, which makes things look closer, faster, and more dangerous. The same scene feels open and safe when you're calm. Attention, mood, and memory can change reality. We don't really see the world as it is. We see it as we are. Our perception is not a window, it's a glass. 3. The placebo paradox. Getting better by believing. If fear can kill, can hope heal? Yes, according to thousands of studies. The placebo effect isn't fake medicine. It's real biology that happens when you believe. Patients with pain, depression, and even Parkinson's disease exhibit quantifiable improvement in clinical trials after ingesting sugar pills, provided they perceive it as treatment. Brain scans show why. The belief in healing opens up dopamine and endorphin pathways, which calm pain centers and help people control their moods. A meta-analysis from 2025 showed that just expecting something can make dopamine levels rise in people with Parkinson's disease. This is the same chemical that real drugs target. In studies of depression, the placebo effect can be as strong as 60% of the effect of real medication. Not because the drug was fake, but because belief used the same pathways. It's not about fooling the mind. It's about understanding that the body and mind are one thing. Your brain acts like you're healing when you think you are. Maybe having faith isn't so stupid after all. It could be biology, a prescription we've all written for ourselves that we've been hiding inside us. 4. The obedience experiment, why we do what we're told. But what happens when authority takes the place of belief? When do we stop thinking and start following orders? Stanley Milgram, a psychologist, wanted to know how regular people could do terrible things just by following orders in 1961. People who volunteered were told to shock a stranger with electricity every time they got an answer wrong. Every mistake raised the voltage. The stranger screamed in pain. Then they begged. Then they stopped talking. The people who were shocked didn't know that the shocks were fake, but they did know that they had to obey. 65% of them went on to the last deadly level just because a man in a lab coat told them to. Milgram called it the agentic state, which is when people give up their moral responsibility to authority and see themselves as tools instead of people. New research shows that this way of thinking isn't just in the lab decades later. It shows up in business scandals, military abuses, and even trends on social media. We follow systems, algorithms, and people who have a lot of power over us, often without thinking about it. The most dangerous kind of obedience is the kind that looks like duty. Milgram's research did not uncover monsters. It showed people how easy it is for a command to silence their conscience. 5. Reality is a simulation. Consciousness makes the world. What if everything we've seen, every fear, illusion, and act of belief, isn't real but is making it real? Cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman's conscious agent theory asks that question. His model from 2025 says that evolution didn't make us to see the truth. It made us to stay alive. We see space, time, and things as simple icons, just like the folders on your computer desktop. You can't see the code. You can only see symbols that help you work. Your brain does the same thing to the universe. Reality, as we see it, is a user interface, a simulation that consciousness has agreed on. Think about it. Quantum physics already shows that particles are only probabilities until we look at them. If observation alters reality, then consciousness is not a mere observer in the universe. It is the driving force. So the mind doesn't just respond to what's real. It makes it. Every thought, hope, and perception is a line of code that makes up the world you live in. Hoffman says, reality isn't what exists. It's what consciousness agrees to experience. We might not be finding the truth. We're building it. 5 tales. 5 ways the mind changes the world. The nocebo effect demonstrates the embodiment of fear. The illusion of sight demonstrates that perception is a constructed fiction. The placebo paradox shows us that faith can help. The obedience experiment shows how easily authority can take over your conscience. The simulation theory proposes that everything we perceive as real may merely be consciousness operating under its own parameters. So what does this mean? It means that reality isn't set in stone. It's always changing. The more we learn about how our minds work, the more power we have to change the world they make. Fear can kill, hope can make things better, belief can help, being obedient can destroy, and being aware can set us free. The mind is not just a part of reality. It's real. And maybe the best thing we can do is learn how to wake up inside the life we're already making.